Welcome to Primeval Scope, where we embark on a spectacular journey through time to explore the ancient history of our living world. We are rewinding the clock millions of years back to an era when colossal beasts and mysterious creatures ruled the entire planet. Our first stop is the Cretaceous period, a lush and dangerous world teeming with life, where evolution pushed size to the limit. Here walks the Argentinosaurus, a true titan of the earth, weighing over 70 tons and shaking the ground with every heavy step. These gentle giants needed to consume massive amounts of vegetation daily just to fuel their enormous bodies and maintain their immense size. Down below, the Triceratops grazes on ferns, using its formidable horns and bony frill as a defense against the lurking predators. Suddenly, the atmosphere changes as the Tyrannosaurus rex appears, the apex predator designed by nature to be the ultimate killing machine. With a bite force capable of crushing solid bone, the T-Rex ruled this landscape with absolute terror and unmatched raw power. It was not just a scavenger, but an active hunter, using its keen sense of smell to track down unsuspecting prey. Leaving the land behind, we travel to the coast, where the skies are dominated by flying reptiles with massive wingspans. Beneath the waves, a different kind of monster lurks, ruling the oceans with the same ferocity as the T-Rex on land. Meet the Mosasaurus, a marine reptile that grew to immense sizes, becoming the undisputed king of the prehistoric underwater world. With jaws designed to trap slippery prey, this marine leviathan had no natural enemies and dominated the seas for millions of years. For millions of years, these creatures thrived in a balanced ecosystem, unaware that their reign was about to end abruptly. 66 million years ago, a rock the size of a mountain hurtled through space on a collision course with our planet. The impact at the Yucatan Peninsula released energy equivalent to billions of atomic bombs, instantly vaporizing everything near ground zero. Shockwaves tore through the earth, triggering massive tsunamis and global wildfires that turned the lush planet into a living hell. Dust and ash blocked out the sun for years, causing temperatures to plummet and plants to die, collapsing the food chain. 75% of all life on Earth, including the mighty dinosaurs, vanished forever in this catastrophic event known as the KPG Extinction. But in the shadows of this apocalypse, small mammals survived underground, waiting for their chance to rise and inherit the Earth. Millions of years passed, the dust settled, and the planet warmed up again, creating vast tropical rainforests across South America. In this hot and humid world, a new giant emerged to fill the void left by the dinosaurs: the Titanoboa. This colossal snake reached lengths of 13 meters and weighed over a ton, making it the largest snake in history. To understand its scale, imagine a snake so large it could easily swallow a modern crocodile whole without any struggle. It lived in the dark waters of ancient Colombia, an ambush predator that struck with blinding speed and crushing constriction power. Its massive muscles generated enough pressure to shatter bones instantly, ensuring its prey had absolutely no chance of escape. Scientists believe the Titanoboa grew so large because the tropics were much hotter then, boosting the metabolism of cold-blooded animals. But as the global temperature eventually cooled, these massive serpents could no longer survive, vanishing into the fossil record forever. We now move forward to the Miocene epoch, where the oceans were warm and home to the greatest shark ever. The Megalodon was a true monster of the deep, growing up to 18 meters long and weighing over 60 tons. Its jaws were lined with rows of serrated teeth, each the size of a human hand, built for tearing flesh. Unlike modern sharks, Megalodon hunted small whales, using its immense weight to ram and stun them before delivering the fatal bite. With the strongest bite force of any creature in history, it could crush a car as easily as we crush grapes. However, the climate shifted again. The oceans cooled and polar ice caps formed, trapping water and lowering global sea levels. The cooling waters and the rise of faster predators like the great white shark created fierce competition for dwindling food sources. Unable to regulate their body temperature in colder waters, the mighty Megalodon starved and eventually went extinct millions of years ago. Despite rumors and movies, scientists confirm Megalodon is gone. The ocean is too cold and food scarce for such a giant. Now we take the ultimate leap back, not just to the time of beasts, but to the birth of Earth itself. 4.7 billion years ago, our home was a molten hellscape, constantly bombarded by asteroids and devoid of any atmosphere. A massive collision with a planet-sized object created our moon, which stabilized Earth's wobble and gave us our seasons. As the planet cooled, the crust solidified, and volcanic outgassing created a primitive atmosphere thick with steam and toxic gases. Then came the rain. It poured for millions of years, filling the basins and creating the vast global oceans we know. Deep beneath these toxic waters, near hydrothermal vents, a chemical miracle occurred, giving rise to the very first single-celled life. Simple bacteria began to harness sunlight, releasing oxygen as a byproduct, a process that would forever change the planet's destiny. This great oxidation event turned the sky blue and created the ozone layer, shielding the surface from deadly solar radiation. Life exploded in diversity. The oceans teemed with strange creatures, from armored fish to giant sea scorpions, competing for survival. Soon, life made the bold leap onto land. Plants carpeted the continents, paving the way for insects and amphibians to follow. But life on Earth is fragile. The Permian extinction, driven by massive volcanic eruptions, nearly wiped out all life entirely. It was the Great Dying. 95% of marine species vanished, leaving Earth a graveyard, waiting for a slow recovery. Yet, life is resilient. From the ashes of extinction rose the dinosaurs, beginning a reign that would last 100 million years. We have seen their rise and their fall. But the extinction of the dinosaurs was the necessary spark for our own story. In the rift valleys of Africa, a primate species began to walk upright, freeing their hands to interact with the world. The discovery of tools was a game changer. It allowed our ancestors to access new food sources and defend against predators.
With the dawn of
Then
agriculture,
came fire.
humanity transitioned
It
from a
provided
nomadic
warmth,
existence to
protection,
settled villages,
and cooked food,
forever changing
which
the
fueled
course
the
of
rapid growth
civilization.
of the complex human brain. Homo sapiens emerged, masters of cooperation and language. We survived the ice ages and spread to every corner of the globe. Agriculture allowed us to settle down. Villages turned into towns, and towns grew into great civilizations that reshaped the landscape. In a blink of geological time, we went from stone tools to space travel, becoming the dominant force on the planet. But our progress comes at a heavy price. We are altering the climate and destroying habitats at an unprecedented and alarming rate. Scientists warn we are entering the sixth extinction. This time driven not by asteroids or volcanoes, but by human activity. We have already lost countless species. Once they are gone forever, leaving a hole in the web of life. However, it is not too late. We have the knowledge and the power to reverse the damage and protect our biosphere. The story of Earth is one of resilience. Life has survived 5 mass extinctions, and it will find a way to continue. But whether we will be part of that future depends on the choices we make today for ourselves and all living things. We are the custodians of this unique world. Let us ensure that the future of Earth is one of life, not silence. From the fires of the Hadean to the digital age, our planet's history is the most epic story ever told. Thank you for joining us on this incredible voyage through deep time, witnessing the wonders of our planet's past. If you enjoyed this journey, please like and subscribe to Primeval Scope to support our mission of exploring history. Stay curious, stay inspired, and keep looking back to understand where we are going. See you in the next video. The Spinosaurus was another river giant, a unique dinosaur that adapted to life in the water to hunt aquatic prey. Small but deadly, velociraptors used intelligence and pack tactics to take down prey much larger than themselves in the ancient world. The Ankylosaurus was a living tank, covered in armor plates and wielding a bone-crushing tail club for lethal self-defense. With a wingspan of a fighter jet, the Quetzalcoatlus dominated the skies, casting a terrifying shadow over the creatures below. Much later, the saber-toothed tiger prowled the grasslands, using its elongated canines to deliver precise, fatal wounds to large herbivores. Woolly mammoths were perfectly adapted to the cold, their thick coats and layers of fat allowing them to thrive in ice. Long before dinosaurs, the Dunkleosteus ruled the Devonian seas, an armored fish with a bite that could shear through metal. In the Carboniferous period, high oxygen levels allowed insects like the Meganeura dragonfly to grow to the size of eagles. The Dimetrodon was not a dinosaur, but a mammal-like reptile, using its iconic sail to regulate its body temperature efficiently. The Paraceratherium was the largest land mammal ever, a hornless rhino that browsed from treetops like a prehistoric giraffe. Terror birds were the top predators of their time, flightless avian monsters that used their beaks as deadly hatchets. Basilosaurus was an early whale that looked more like a sea serpent, a ferocious predator that hunted in warm, shallow seas. In ancient Australia, the Megalania was a monitor lizard the size of a car, likely venomous and terrifyingly strong. The Glyptodon was a relative of armadillos, carrying a car-sized shell on its back to protect against predators like saber-toothed cats. Giant ground sloths were massive herbivores that could stand on two legs, using their formidable claws to pull down branches. Leviathan was a sperm whale with teeth larger than a T-Rex, a rival to Megalodon for the title of Ocean King. Arthropleura was a millipede the size of a crocodile, scurrying across the forest floor in a world rich with oxygen. Helicoprion possessed a tooth whorl like a circular saw, a bizarre evolutionary experiment that remains a mystery to paleontologists. Anomalocaris was the world's first super predator, ruling the Cambrian seas with strange grasping appendages and large compound eyes. The hallucigenia was so strange that scientists initially couldn't tell its head from its tail or its top from bottom. Tiktaalik was the evolutionary link between fish and tetrapods, the brave pioneer that took the first steps onto dry land. Therizinosaurus looked terrifying with its meter-long claws, but it was actually a herbivore that used them to strip vegetation. Pachycephalosaurus used its thick domed skull as a battering ram, engaging in head-butting contests to establish dominance in the herd. The Stegosaurus had a brain the size of a walnut, yet its spiked tail was a lethal weapon against attackers. Before the T-Rex, the Allosaurus was the terror of the Jurassic, a pack hunter that took down massive, long-necked sauropods. Brachiosaurus was built like a crane, its vertical neck allowing it to reach vegetation that no other herbivore could touch. Iguanodon was a versatile herbivore with a unique thumb spike, which it likely used as a stiletto dagger for defense. Archaeopteryx is the famous missing link, possessing both the teeth of a reptile and the flight feathers of a bird. Giganotosaurus was even larger than the T-Rex, a massive carnivore from South America that hunted the largest creatures to ever walk. Carnotaurus was the cheetah of the Cretaceous, a horned predator built for explosive speed rather than brute biting force. Baryonyx had a long snout filled with conical teeth, perfectly adapted for snatching slippery fish from the ancient river systems. For decades, Deinocheirus was known only by its massive arms, until fossils revealed a strange, humpbacked, duck-billed giant. Microraptor was a tiny dinosaur with 4 wings, capable of gliding gracefully between trees in the dense prehistoric forests. Troodon is considered the smartest dinosaur, with a large brain relative to its body size and excellent night vision. Plesiosaurus inspired legends of sea monsters, using its 4 flippers to fly underwater while its long neck snatched prey. Ichthyosaurs evolved a shape remarkably similar to modern dolphins, a classic example of convergent evolution in the marine environment. Ammonites filled the ancient oceans, their spiral shells serving as buoyancy tanks, allowing them to float and hunt effectively. Trilobites were the cockroaches of the ancient sea, surviving for millions of years with their hard, segmented, armored bodies. The coelacanth was thought to be extinct with the dinosaurs until it was miraculously rediscovered alive in the 20th century. Entelodonts, often called hell pigs, were omnivorous scavengers with bone-crushing jaws, terrorizing the landscape after the dinosaur age. Hyenodon was a top predator for millions of years, using its razor-sharp teeth to shear meat from bone efficiently. Andrewsarchus was a bizarre predator, related to sheep and hippos, yet it grew to become a terrifying carnivorous giant. The Irish elk possessed the largest antlers of any deer species, a magnificent display that sadly contributed to its extinction. Dodocaurus was another armored giant, wielding a spiked tail club that could break the legs of any predator attacking it.